Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is John, and today I'm going to show you how to build your 8x10 outdoor storage shed. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your shed is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with the shed. If you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the comments or description below for a timestamp associated with each step. Your shed comes on a pallet in 2 different boxes. Let's take a look at what you should have received. There are steps within this assembly that require more than one person, so be sure to have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You'll need a 7/16 wrench, a 3/8 wrench, a rubber mallet, a Phillips head screwdriver, needle nose pliers, a level, a drill. You may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be sure not to over torque or over tighten the hardware, a ladder, safety glasses, and a hammer. To make this easier, we're going to use a 7/16 socket, a 3/8 socket, a Phillips bit, vice grips, and a socket adapter. This video is meant to be used as a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, be sure to have the assembly manual on hand during the build. It's also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions for this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section will go over the requirements for your foundation. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not the foundation. So if you have questions on how to build your foundation, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and refer to your assembly manual. For now, we're going to move on to the next section. Take 2 gutter channels and a connector, align the holes at the end of the gutter channel with the holes in the connector, and secure with the hardware. Tighten the hardware, but make sure not to over tighten because you don't want to break the cap nuts. Attach a large truss brace to the gutter channels, making sure that the head of the bolt is on the inside of the gutter channel. To make tightening this hardware easier, I like to use a Phillips bit inside some vice grips to fit inside the gutter channel. Insert the truss rod into the connector and the truss brace. Only tighten the truss rod until the truss rod doesn't move. Repeat the previous steps 2 more times for a total of 3 truss assemblies. Take the gable halves labeled AGH and AGI, align them in the middle, and secure with the hardware. Align the holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Place the vent on the front of the gable and align the holes. Now secure with the hardware. Take the 2 gable halves with the curve at the bottom, align them in the center, and secure with the hardware. Add the screen and vent to the gable using the same method as before. Insert a cap into each end of the header. Place a header onto the gable over these holes. Make sure that this dented hole is facing down and that these flat holes are facing up. Attach the header to the gable through the center 2 holes. Finish attaching the header to the gable with the remaining hardware. Take the left door, which is the door with the Lifetime logo, and insert the hinge tube into the bottom of the door. Make sure to leave a couple inches hanging out of each end. Place the doublets in the recesses at the top and bottom of the door, making sure they're oriented like this. Next, you're going to slide the door end channel over the locks, but before you do that, make sure that the square holes in the door end channel line up with the notch on the door. Place the strike plate over the square holes. Place the door latch over the strike plate, making sure it's oriented like this and secure with the hardware. Attach the door handle to the door with the hardware. Insert your hinge tube into the bottom of the right door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out. Attach the door end channel to the door, making sure that the square holes in the door channel line up with the notch in the door. The door end channels may be a little bit difficult to get on because they're curved by design, so you may need to use a rubber mallet. Insert the latch into the handle, making sure that the nubs go into the holes on the handle. Insert the lever into the door and secure with the hardware. Attach the locking hardware to the door like this. Attach the bracket to the lever with the hardware. Then add your spring like this. Have one person stand on the floor panel while you lift up the other floor panel at a 45-degree angle, interlock the tabs, and lay it back down. Your door can go on either short edge, so decide which edge you want it to go on and insert the bushings into these round holes. Connect the floor panels together by inserting the screws into these divots along the edges of the floor panels. Take the window wall panel labeled AHH and attach the two wall supports, making sure that the holes that are close together are at the top. On 5 wall panels labeled AHD, add the wall support to the middle channel, making sure that the two holes are at the top of the wall panel. There will be 2 wall panels and 2 wall supports left. These will be attached later. Take the corner wall panel labeled front right and insert the tabs at the bottom into the cutouts on the floor next to the bushing. This panel may also be labeled AGY. Slide the panel towards the bushing to lock it into place. I like to use my foot to kick it over, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can use a block and a rubber mallet. Lean the panel away from the floor, bend the panel in half, line up the tabs at the bottom of the panel with the cutouts on the floor. Then apply downward pressure to lock it into place. If you're having a hard time getting the tabs to lock into place, go ahead and add the block underneath the tabs and try again. Take a wall panel labeled AHD with a wall support and align the tabs at the bottom of the wall panel with the cutouts at the floor panel and slide it over to lock it into place. Before securing your wall panels together, make sure that this line on the top of the wall panels is even. Add 2 wall panels labeled AHD that have wall supports using the same method as before. Add the wall panel labeled back right to this corner using the same method as the first corner. This panel may also be labeled AGW. Add the 2 wall panels labeled AHD that do not have any wall supports to the back wall. Take the next corner wall panel labeled back left and insert it using the same method as the other corners. This panel may also be labeled AGL. Add a wall panel labeled AHD with the wall support next. Add your window wall panel next. Add another wall panel labeled AHD with the wall support next. Add the final corner panel labeled front left to this corner. This panel may also be labeled AGN. On the right wall panel in the back of the shed, you're going to insert the wall support into the channel directly below the notch. Make sure the two holes that are close together are at the top. For the left wall panel, you're going to insert the wall support into the channel just to the right of the notch at the top. On the wall supports you just added, there are 3 different height settings you can choose from. Decide how high you want your shelf to go and add the shelf brackets at that height. On the side walls, add your screw anchors to the same height setting that you added your shelf bracket. Secure the shelf brackets to the screw anchors you just added, making sure they're oriented like this. Unfold the shelf and insert the shelf support tubes into these grooves. Add the shelf over the brackets, making sure the word front is on the front. With the help of another person, take the left door and insert the hinge tube into the bushing, making sure that the hole in the hinge tube lines up with the slot on the bushing. Insert the cotter pin into the front of the bushing and then expand the pins to lock it into place. Repeat the same process for the right door. Close the doors and take the gable with the curve at the bottom and slide it over the hinge tubes. Line up the holes in the gable with the holes at the top of the corner panel and secure with the hardware. Place your gap flap oriented like this over these holes at the top of the door and secure with the hardware. Take a truss assembly and insert them at the notch in the top of the wall panels. With the help of another person, lift a roof panel over the gable and into the truss. You'll know it's in the right position when the alignment nub is in this notch. Secure the roof panel to the wall panel through these 4 holes. Next, secure the roof panel to the gable through the 2 lower holes. Now secure the truss to the roof panel through the 2 lower holes. Insert the roof support into the cutout on the gable and the roof. Secure the roof panel through the remaining holes on the gable and the truss. Repeat the previous steps for the roof panel on the other side. Repeat the previous steps for the next 2 trusses and 4 roof panels. With the help of another person, lift the gable onto the back wall and secure with the hardware through the holes. Add the last 2 roof panels using the same method as you did the first 2 roof panels. Starting at the front of the shed, place a roof cap over the roof panels, making sure to start with panel AGG. Now add the next 3 roof caps labeled AFY. They will overlap the previous cap. The final roof cap will be labeled AFW. Fold the skylight in half and insert it through the hole, then align the tabs on the skylight with the holes on the roof. On the back of the wall, locate these holes and insert these clips. Remove the plastic film from each side of the window. Insert the window into the frame, making sure that the lip is facing out. Add the screw into the hole at the bottom of the window. Add the locks to these holes above the window, making sure that the locks can slide freely, so make sure not to over tighten the hardware. Next, you're going to level the doors. To see a video on how to properly do that, follow this link here. This section will go over how to properly anchor your shed. Since we're inside, we're not going to be able to do that, but it's important that you do. So refer to your instruction manual to see how to properly anchor your shed. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your Lifetime 8x10 outdoor storage shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other awesome products at lifetime.com.